In the past, the men and women who became lay Marists did it in association with priests, sisters, and brothers through parishes, schools, or communities, and they mainly met in groups. Today, lay Marists are men and women who used to belong to groups, to parishes. Still, some do, but we also have some new members who have found out about Marist spirituality through our website, through meeting other lay Marists, and they have joined our little Marist community online. So this is a new way to know about Marist spirituality.
Hello, my name is Nuala and I'm a lay Marist. In the past, the lay Marists were organised, led and nurtured by the Marist fathers and the Marist sisters. There were groups all over Ireland, but they seldom met together and didn't really know each other. Then in the year 2000, to celebrate the millennium, we had a big gathering in Longford in the centre of Ireland, and we all got together. It was a wonderful day. We had a great liturgy, a meal, and then followed by a party. So we got to know each other and forged friendships. And people said, can't we do this again? And we did, quite a few times again. Then in 2007, 12 of us went to Turin to the European gathering of lay Marists. This was a great experience because we realised there's Marists all over the world, and we learned from them how to organise ourselves, and we exchanged ideas. Now there were cultural differences, but we worked through them. The most important thing that came out of this meeting, apart from learning how to organise ourselves, was we adapted the Magnificat as the official prayer of lay Marists. Then we returned to Ireland fired up with enthusiasm, and we set about organising ourselves in structure, formation, communication, but the most important part, to establish ourselves as an authentic branch of the Marist family, independent but interdependent with the other branches. In structure, we got ourselves together and we elected 8 people to a committee. We call ourselves the resource group, and we go out and visit the other groups, give them encouragement, help them, and got them to elect a leader to take ownership of their groups and to lead them. Then we organise retreats, days of reflection, and every year on the 8th of September we celebrate Mary's birthday by a coming together of everybody where we have mass and a meal and a party. So what else would you do on somebody's birthday? Have a party.
And in terms of mission, we have such a richness in our Marist spirituality that we want to be able to share this within our parishes, on top, of course, of our families, and also to reach out to new members. We have a lot of people that are soul-searching, and we have new tools that allows us to connect with them. And finally, I believe that lay Marists need to train more in Marist spirituality, get educated so that they can give some spiritual accompaniment, which so far has been more done by the priests and sisters and brothers, but we do have a mission in this area.
We finance ourselves by each member giving a voluntary donation every year. And that pays for a newsletter which we produce, so that's the communication. And we also send out letters throughout the year as needed. We also produced a booklet called Clan Wira, Mary's Family. This booklet tells who the lay Marists are and what our function is here in Ireland. Formation. In Ireland, formation is not as strict as it is in other countries. Irish people don't really like strict rules. But what we have done is we use Craig Larkin's A Certain Way, and we feel the text of this is just amazing, and it is great for people in formation. As I said, we wanted to establish ourselves and make sure that people realised that they were an authentic branch of the Marist family, not just extensions of the other groups. So that's working well, and people realise that there are people all over the world who are lay Marists.
Hi everyone, I'm Margaret from Australia. Our Marist Laity Committee actually has just finished its meeting and we're putting together this little ensemble for you.
Hi, I'm Andrew Duma. I'm also part of the committee. I have 3 children and I'm a teacher.
And I'm Maria Baden, and I've been associated with Marist Laity for a long time. I currently live on a farm down the south coast, and we're here to share our thoughts on Sister Vivian's request.
So we were looking at how do we see our Marist Laity now, and so we'd just like to share some thoughts on that. Thanks, Maria.
Okay, I'll go first. Now, Marist Laity in Australia, I think just like the wider church, is in a state of flux. Sometimes I have highs and sometimes lows, but one thing I can say for certain is that Marist Laity Australia now is making its own decisions, and I feel has really matured to a level of independence.
And Marist Laity plays a critical part in the church, and I see Marist Laity in different pockets spread across the country, but when they come together there's real life and fire that really transforms those communities.
And that transformation is really evident because the charism and the spirit of our Marist charism, it's very evident in all the people that are part of Marist Laity Australia. So I think that one of the richness is everything that we've experienced in the past from our religious branches have actually borne more fruit now within the lay group, so that independence is really evident. Our next point that we were asked to look at was how it differs, where we are now, and how that differs from the past.
Okay, how it differs from the past, from my perspective, is that in the past I think we looked much more towards the religious for guidance, for help, and even decision making, but not now.
Yeah, Marist Laity, we're very diverse. We're at different levels in terms of our spirituality and our ministry. And so some people might want to formalise their association, some don't, and that's okay, but we're all Marist Laity.
Yeah, I think we've moved very much from that third order concept and to a reality that the Marian spirit for us in Australia is something that's more boundless and limitless, and so that by being more inclusive we're able to actually make sure the charism goes first and not all the rules and the regulations around it.
So we see for the future that we interpret the signs of the times in light of the Marist spirituality. We identify our role within the church, but we wanted to try and help to form a new way of being church. We want to strengthen the branch of the Marist Laity, obviously, by inviting new people to join us. There are big challenges, the main challenge being trying to influence young people who are totally disinterested and turned off by all things church.
The way we envision the future is lots more of collaboration between all the branches. I think we have such a richness with the Marist spirituality. The world really needs this, and we need to look at our roots more than at our branches. Take as many opportunities as possible to meet, to exchange, and we have new tools nowadays that break the barriers of distance. So we have to take advantage of that.
I see the future for Australian lay Marists to first of all develop stronger links with Oceania, and then even beyond that globally. I see Marist Laity being a much broader, more expansive branch of the Marist family tree. Just one example, I liaise with a group of Muslim women and Christian women, and for example, Mary is the common person that links us. So I see that as part of the future.
Communication is critical, and I see Marist Laity going out into other parts of the world on immersion, into places that we can respond in justice, but through each other as well, to strengthen our community by coming together.
I think one of the initiatives that can help develop Marist Laity in Australia is to work closely with the other religious branches to help support some of the initiatives that they too have undertaken. An example of that is in the Philippines with the development of the girls' orphanage to support the sisters there. Also, to move Marist Laity forward in a much more powerful way, we really believe that greater resourcing of someone, a paid person, as they have in New Zealand, would actually help give a bit more gravitas to us being able to implement and give more energy to Marist Laity having legs and being perhaps even more evident. So to move it forward, to have that great integrated approach across Oceania and to be more in play with what's happening across Europe, I think that a dedicated resource in terms of a person would really help that, and we would hope that the other branches of the Marist family could help source that.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks
Thanks
very
very
much.
much.
Bye-bye.
Hopefully
God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.